What would be your response to the question, why are you weeping? Perhaps because it's still dark. Your heart is breaking. Or you never imagined living through incredulous times like these. Death surrounds us. 70 killed in Yemen, 2 killed and 6 injured at Florida State in Tallahassee. Armed conflicts continue in Gaza, Sudan, Syria, Ukraine, Russia. The list goes on and on. We mourn as people worldwide die of hunger and disease, as people are deported and treated inhumanely, as droughts, fires, tornadoes, and tsunamis ravage our world. We grieve our losses of lives, jobs, homes, and dreams. Perhaps we empathize with Jennifer Vasquez Sora, who hasn't seen her husband, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, since ICE arrested him March 12th, despite his protected status. The US government alleges he has ties to the criminal gang MS-13, yet neither charged nor convicted of any crime. Kilmar was deported, traumatized, and spent almost a month at a maximum security prison for terrorists in El Salvador before being transferred about 10 days ago to another facility. This we know because Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen traveled to El Salvador, was denied access to the prison, yet once President Bukele intervened, was able to meet with Kilmar at a hotel. Jennifer is grateful her husband is alive. She continues to plead with the Trump and the Bukele administrations, both of which appear content for Kilmar to remain in prison in El Salvador. To quote Jennifer, "Our family is torn apart during this scary time, and our children miss their dad so much." Powerlessness. We have all felt it, haven't we? In all 4 Easter stories in the New Testament, the women arrive first. The gospel that we heard proclaimed today is never read in Catholic churches on a Sunday. It is, however, designated to the Tuesday after Easter. Powerless, I suspect that's what Mary Magdalene felt when she saw the empty tomb. Powerless to fill the void in her heart created by Jesus's death. However, once Mary heard her beloved's voice and sensed his presence, Mary knew beyond any doubt Jesus's spirit would always be with her. The question for us today is, do we trust that healing happens in community? So moved was I by our Holy Thursday and Good Friday liturgies. I wanted to bring them into Easter, and I want to share with those of you who were unable to be with us just a few takeaways from those services. So I'll start with a shout out to Eileen DeFranco and to Denise DeZolt. If you haven't heard Eileen's Holy Thursday homily, it's worth listening to, and it is posted at smmcommunity.org under the resources tab. Eileen concluded her Holy Thursday homily by mentioning a conversation she had had just that morning at the Witness downtown in front of the Cathedral of Saints Peter and Paul, the Witness for women's ordination. In the face of tough times, Tina suggested we try to focus on all the new communities that are forming because people are standing up and mobilizing. Rather than asking for light, Eileen suggested the time is now to step into the darkness and put our hands in the hand of God. Eileen reminded us that hope begins in the dark. And the next day on Good Friday, one line from a reading, God's Voice, by Alden Solovi continues to resonate with me. And here is the line. What if holiness packed all the empty space with light? Has your lungs filled with the one divine breath together with every other living being? Every other living being. In Denise's final blessing, she invited our voices to ask the what if questions. Us to be the hands and the feet of resurrection. My friends, we can all do that in different ways. We too rise with Jesus by following his example and standing up for the disenfranchised, those who cry out for justice, the hungry, the homeless, the helpless, the lonely. They are among us. And when things feel most chaotic, remember, chaos is another name for spirit. Even when the chaos might not feel particularly divine. I'll conclude with the words of Edwina Gately. Tell my people to rise with me to heal the earth's despair. Amen. Alleluia.